6 p.m. June 25th. 2025 will end everything. Richard Gerald Jordan, Mississippi's oldest and longest-serving death row inmate, was scheduled to die by lethal injection 49 years after kidnapping and murdering Edwina Martyr in a crime that shattered a Gulfport family and entangled the legal system in decades of appeals. On January 12, 1976, Jordan, unemployed, financially desperate, and a Vietnam veteran, posed as an electrician to enter the home of Edwina Martyr, 34, wife of Gulf National Bank executive Chuck Martyr. He kidnapped her at gunpoint, leaving her 3-year-old son asleep upstairs. Driven to DeSoto National Forest, Edwina was fatally shot. Jordan claimed she fled. Prosecutors argued she was executed kneeling at close range. Hours later, he demanded $25,000 ransom from Chuck, triggering a chase with law enforcement that ended in Jordan's arrest. Richard Jordan's legal journey after his 1976 confession quickly devolved into one of the most prolonged and complex death penalty cases in American history. Although he confessed almost immediately to the kidnapping and murder of Edwina Martyr, the judicial process that followed stretched on for nearly 5 decades, tangled in a series of constitutional challenges, procedural missteps, and shifting legal standards. His first death sentence, handed down in 1976, was overturned when the U.S. Supreme Court invalidated automatic death penalties as unconstitutional. Over the next 2 decades, from 1977 to 1998, Jordan was resentenced to death 3 more times, with each sentence eventually being vacated due to procedural errors, including faulty jury instructions and violations of his legal rights during trial proceedings. In 1991, he accepted a plea agreement for life without parole, appearing to finally close the case. But Jordan soon challenged that plea, arguing it violated sentencing guidelines that were in place at the time of his original conviction. Specifically, that life without parole had not yet been a lawful sentencing option in Mississippi in 1976. The courts agreed, voiding the plea and reopening the door to capital punishment. By 1998, prosecutors, frustrated by what they viewed as manipulations of the system, successfully reinstated the death sentence for a 4th time. By 2025, Jordan had filed 5 post-conviction relief motions, labeled frivolous by the state for rehashing rejected arguments. His final appeals hinged on claims of prosecutorial vindictiveness, Mississippi's execution drug protocol, and unresolved PTSD from Vietnam. Though state psychiatrists diagnosed antisocial personality disorder, not PTSD. Jordan has spent more than 17,000 days behind bars, most of them in a 6 by 9 foot solitary confinement cell. He has seen fellow inmates come and go, some executed, some exonerated, others dying of natural causes before the state could act. He has written legal briefs, studied the law, and reportedly converted to Christianity during his incarceration. In recent years, his physical health has significantly declined. According to his attorneys, Jordan suffers from heart disease, hearing loss, and cognitive decline. He uses a wheelchair and is heavily medicated. Yet despite his deteriorating condition, Mississippi prosecutors and courts have remained unmoved by pleas for clemency or sentence commutation. The view from the state has been consistent. The sentence was death, and the sentence must be carried out. If the execution proceeds as scheduled, Richard Gerald Jordan will be strapped to a gurney inside Mississippi's execution chamber at Parchman Prison. He will be administered a sequence of drugs, a sedative, pentobarbital, followed by a paralytic agent, pancuronium bromide, and finally potassium chloride, which stops the heart. State law mandates the presence of official witnesses, including members of the victim's family, media representatives, and government officials. Jordan will be offered the opportunity to make a final statement. As of now, no public information has been released regarding whether he will issue any last words. Subscribe to this channel to be updated on every inmate in the United States of America. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. See you here tomorrow.